Every 34 seconds, someone dies from cardiovascular disease. According to the American Heart Association, it remains the #1 cause of death worldwide. Yet, most of those cases are completely preventable. What if I told you that one of the biggest factors behind blocked arteries isn't what you think? It's not just fat or genetics or even lack of exercise, but something as simple as what you drink every day? Recent research from Harvard Medical School and Stanford's Longevity Institute reveals that certain healthy beverages, the ones many adults over 60 trust, could actually be accelerating arterial aging. And that's where Dr. Peter Attia, one of America's leading physicians in longevity and preventive medicine, steps in. He's been studying cardiovascular health for decades, and what he's uncovered could change the way you think about your morning glass of juice or your nightly cup of tea. Dr. Attia often says, longevity isn't about adding years to your life. It's about improving the quality of those years. And one of the simplest, yet most overlooked ways to do that is through what you drink. Imagine two people, both 65. One struggles with fatigue, high blood pressure, and foggy memory. The other walks with energy, sleeps well, and has the blood pressure of someone 20 years younger. The difference? It's not luck, it's biology. In this video, we'll reveal the 3 drinks silently blocking your arteries and the 4 powerful ones that can help clear them. Backed by science, real studies, and the same principles Dr. Attia uses with his patients. So before you take another sip, stay with me, because what you learn in the next few minutes could literally change the way your heart ages. For decades, we've been told that clogged arteries come from one simple thing: eating too much fat. But as modern science now shows, that story was never complete. According to the American College of Cardiology and Dr. Peter Attia, one of the leading experts in longevity and preventive medicine, the real driver isn't just cholesterol itself. It's the inflammation and oxidation that happen inside the blood vessel wall. Think of your arteries as flexible highways. Every time your blood sugar spikes or your blood pressure rises, it's like thousands of tiny sparks hitting those walls. Over time, those sparks cause microscopic injuries. Your body tries to heal those injuries by sending cholesterol to patch them up. But if the damage keeps happening faster than it can repair, those patches turn into plaques that narrow the artery. This is why people with insulin resistance, chronic stress, or poor sleep are more at risk, even if they don't eat much fat. Harvard medical researchers now confirm that elevated insulin and chronic inflammation are 2 of the strongest predictors of arterial aging. Dr. Attia often says, cholesterol is the firefighter, not always the fire. Meaning, the cholesterol shows up at the scene of damage, but it's not always the cause of the fire. What's truly igniting that fire are the daily habits that raise inflammation. Too much sugar, constant snacking, processed oils, and yes, the wrong kinds of drinks. Because the beverages we consume can either fuel inflammation or help cool it down. And that's what we're about to uncover next. The hidden drinks silently clogging the arteries of millions of adults over 60. Now, let's talk about the hidden enemies, the drinks that look innocent, but quietly damage your arteries, sip after sip. The first one might surprise you: fruit juice. Yes, even the ones labeled 100% natural. Here's the truth. When fruit is turned into juice, the fiber disappears, leaving behind a concentrated dose of sugar that spikes insulin faster than a soda. According to research from Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health, people who drink fruit juice daily have a 21% higher risk of developing insulin resistance and early signs of cardiovascular disease. Dr. Peter Attia explains that these constant insulin spikes are like tiny chemical burns inside your arteries. Over time, they stiffen, thicken, and lose their ability to expand. So that morning glass of orange juice that feels healthy, it's giving your arteries the same glucose hit as a can of cola. The second hidden enemy: diet sodas. They promise 0 sugar, but studies from the American Heart Association have shown that artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose can disrupt gut bacteria and increase inflammation markers in the blood. In older adults, that inflammation doesn't just affect digestion, it can elevate triglycerides and make the arteries more prone to plaque buildup. Dr. Adia often says, you can't trick biology. When your brain tastes sweetness but no calories follow, your body still responds with confusion, and insulin release continues. The third, and maybe most overlooked, is flavored coffee beverages. A black cup of coffee can actually be protective, but when you add syrups, creamers, or sweetened powders, you're basically turning a metabolic boost into an inflammatory bomb. One large Starbucks Frappuccino can contain over 60 grams of sugar, nearly double the daily limit recommended by the World Health Organization. For people over 60, this combination of sugar and saturated fat becomes particularly dangerous. It raises blood pressure, triggers arterial stiffness, and increases oxidative stress, the chemical process that ages your cells from the inside out. So let's recap. Fruit juices, sugar without fiber. Diet sodas, chemical confusion that inflames your body. Sweetened coffees, sugar and fat disguised as comfort. These three beverages, when consumed daily, can slowly create the perfect storm inside your arteries. Chronic inflammation, insulin spikes, and oxidative damage. The good news? The opposite is also true. There are drinks, simple, natural, and backed by science, that do the exact reverse. They reduce inflammation, improve blood flow, and help restore elasticity to aging arteries. And that's exactly what we'll uncover next. Now that we've seen what damages the arteries, let's talk about how to help them heal. Because, yes, healing is absolutely possible, even after 60. According to Dr. Peter Attia, longevity and cardiovascular health depend on one key principle: maintaining flexible, resilient arteries that can adapt to stress. When arteries are healthy, they act like elastic bands, expanding and contracting effortlessly as blood flows through. But when inflammation and oxidative stress take over, that flexibility disappears. Blood has to push harder, pressure rises, and damage accelerates. The exciting news is that the body has a built-in repair system, and the right nutrients delivered through certain drinks can activate it. Let's start with something called nitric oxide, a molecule that helps blood vessels relax and widen. Harvard scientists call it nature's artery opener. When you drink beverages rich in natural nitrates, like beetroot juice or pomegranate juice, your body converts them into nitric oxide. That nitric oxide tells your arteries, relax, open up, let the blood flow. In fact, a clinical study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that just 2 weeks of daily beetroot juice improved arterial dilation by nearly 20% in adults over 60. But that's only part of the equation. The second mechanism is reducing oxidative stress, the rusting of your cells. Antioxidant-rich drinks like green tea and hibiscus tea provide polyphenols that neutralize free radicals, those unstable molecules that corrode arterial walls over time. Dr. Adia often explains it like this: if inflammation is the spark, oxidation is the fuel. By removing both, you stop the fire before it spreads. The third key is endothelial repair. The endothelium is the thin lining inside your arteries. It's where everything begins. Certain compounds found in olive leaf extract, cacao, and even turmeric teas stimulate endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that helps keep that inner layer smooth and responsive. When that lining heals, cholesterol stops sticking, plaques stabilize, blood pressure drops naturally. Researchers from Johns Hopkins University discovered that older adults who incorporated antioxidant beverages daily showed improved blood flow and lower arterial stiffness within 3 months, without changing medication. That's the beauty of this approach. You're not forcing your arteries open. You're teaching them to work like they did when you were younger. So when you hear people talk about cleansing arteries, forget the gimmicks. There's no magic detox, just biology that finally works in your favor when you give your body the right inputs. And in the next section, will reveal exactly which drinks, simple, affordable, and backed by real science, can do just that. Now, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for. The drinks that science shows can help keep your arteries open, flexible, and young. Drink number 1, beetroot juice. This deep red vegetable is one of nature's most powerful nitric oxide boosters. When you drink beet juice, your body converts its natural nitrates into nitric oxide, the same molecule that relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. In a study published by the American Journal of Physiology, older adults who drank beetroot juice daily for just 2 weeks increased their arterial dilation by nearly 20%. Dr. Peter Attia explains that nitric oxide acts like yoga for your arteries. It helps them expand and contract smoothly, lowering blood pressure naturally. Just one small glass, around 100 to 150 milliliters, can have noticeable effects in days. But remember, consistency is key. It's the habit, not a one-time fix, that creates change. Drink number 2, green tea. The antioxidants in green tea, especially catechins, fight oxidative stress, one of the silent causes of arterial aging. According to research from Harvard Medical School, people who drink 2 to 3 cups of green tea daily have lower LDL oxidation and better endothelial function. And this matters because when LDL particles oxidize, they're more likely to stick to artery walls and form plaques. Green tea prevents that. It keeps your cholesterol calm and your vessels clean. Plus, it helps reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity, another key in protecting your heart as you age. Drink number 3, pomegranate juice. Often called the fruit of the heart, pomegranate is rich in polyphenols, plant compounds that protect the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of your arteries. A clinical trial from Israel's Technion Institute of Technology found that adults over 55 who drank pomegranate juice for a year reduced arterial plaque by up to 30%. Dr. Attia and other longevity physicians often include pomegranate in their patients' diets because it supports nitric oxide production, reduces oxidative stress, and stabilizes blood pressure without medication. Just make sure it's pure juice, no added sugars or flavoring. Drink number 4, hibiscus tea. This crimson herbal tea might look simple, but it's a powerhouse for circulation. Hibiscus contains anthocyanins, the same compounds that give berries their deep color. They act like natural artery cleaners, reducing blood pressure, improving vessel elasticity, and supporting cholesterol balance. A review published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that daily hibiscus tea reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 7 mmHg in just 6 weeks. For people over 60, that's not just a number. That's a major step toward reducing stroke and heart attack risk. Together, these 4 drinks create what Dr. Attia would call a metabolic support system. Beet juice boosts nitric oxide and blood flow. Green tea fights oxidation and protects cholesterol. Pomegranate juice rebuilds the arterial lining. Hibiscus tea lowers blood pressure naturally. None of these are fads. They're evidence-based, time-tested, and accessible to anyone. And when combined with movement, sleep, and balanced nutrition, they can help reverse years of vascular aging. The key is consistency. A few sips each day, done intentionally, can do more for your arteries than any supplement ever will. Science is powerful. But what's even more powerful is seeing those numbers come to life. Over the past decade, researchers have studied how these natural, polyphenol-rich, nitric oxide-boosting drinks affect real people, not just lab results. One of the most remarkable findings came from a long-term study at the Cleveland Clinic, one of the top cardiovascular research centers in the United States. They tracked over 1,200 adults between ages 55 and 75 who introduced daily doses of antioxidant beverages, green tea, beet juice, or pomegranate, into their diet for a full year. The results? After 12 months, participants saw an average drop of 12 points in systolic blood pressure, a 20% improvement in arterial flexibility, and most importantly, a reduction in markers of inflammation measured through C-reactive protein tests. These aren't abstract numbers. They represent a body that's less inflamed, arteries that move like they used to, and a heart that finally doesn't have to work overtime. Dr. Peter Attia often emphasizes this point. The body is remarkably forgiving. If you give it the right signals, it will respond, no matter your age. And he's seen it firsthand. One of his patients, a 68-year-old man, came to him exhausted, with high triglycerides and early signs of insulin resistance. He wasn't on medication yet, but his doctor told him it was only a matter of time. Attia started him on a comprehensive lifestyle plan, moderate resistance training, improved sleep, and daily inclusion of nitric oxide-boosting drinks. Within 4 months, his energy was back. His blood pressure normalized, his fasting insulin dropped by 40%, and his lab results, which once looked like a warning sign, now read like someone 20 years younger. And this isn't an isolated story. A meta-analysis published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that adults over 60 who regularly consumed green tea or pomegranate juice experienced measurable improvements in endothelial function, the ability of arteries to expand and contract. The researchers concluded that these changes significantly reduced cardiovascular risk, independent of medication. What's fascinating, and something Dr. Attia often points out, is that many of these improvements happen within weeks, not years. Why? Because the body's vascular system is dynamic. Every 90 days, your endothelium, the inner lining of your arteries, regenerates. That means what you eat and drink today shapes the health of your arteries 3 months from now. So, when you take that sip of beet juice or green tea, you're not just drinking, you're literally sending instructions to your cells: heal, repair, restore. And the results go beyond lab numbers. People report sharper focus, better stamina, and calmer heartbeats. Because when your arteries work, everything else works better. The mind feels clearer. The body feels lighter. You stop feeling like you're constantly pushing uphill. That's the quiet miracle of metabolic repair. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And what starts with one healthy drink can ripple across your entire system, from your brain to your heart to your energy. In the next section, we'll put all of this together, the science, the drinks, and the daily habits, into a simple morning routine you can follow starting tomorrow. By now you know the science. You've seen how certain drinks can heal the arteries, and how others silently harm them. But knowledge only changes lives when it turns into daily action. That's why longevity experts like Dr. Peter Attia always emphasize one thing: consistency beats intensity. You don't need a complicated plan or expensive supplements. What you need is a simple, repeatable rhythm that supports your cardiovascular system every single day. So here's what that routine could look like, backed by real science and easy enough for anyone over 60 to follow. Step 1. Morning reset. Start your day with a glass of beetroot juice or a cup of warm water with lemon and apple cider vinegar. The beet juice boosts nitric oxide and blood flow, while the vinegar helps stabilize morning glucose levels, preventing that first insulin spike of the day. If you can, go for a short 10-minute walk afterward. That movement pushes oxygen-rich blood through freshly opened vessels, a perfect way to wake up your circulation. Step 2. Midday protection. Around lunch, enjoy a cup of green tea. Green tea works like a shield against oxidative stress, keeping your arteries calm during digestion when blood sugar naturally rises. Harvard research shows that drinking tea with meals can reduce post-meal inflammation by up to 25%. If you're sensitive to caffeine, switch to matcha or decaf green tea. You'll still get the same antioxidant benefits. Step 3. Afternoon stability. Many people experience energy dips between 3 and 5 p.m. Instead of reaching for sugary snacks or coffee drinks, have hibiscus tea or pomegranate water. These help lower blood pressure and reduce cortisol, your stress hormone. They also prevent the late-day sugar cravings that make insulin spike again. Dr. Attia calls this metabolic balance in motion. The idea that every small choice during the day either supports or disrupts your long-term health. Step 4. Evening recovery. 2 to 3 hours before bed, finish your day with a calming herbal tea, hibiscus, chamomile, or even turmeric tea. These help reduce nighttime inflammation and improve sleep quality. Good sleep isn't just rest, it's metabolic repair. During deep sleep, your body lowers cortisol, restores nitric oxide sensitivity, and prepares your arteries to recover overnight. Combine this evening tea with 5 to 10 minutes of slow breathing or meditation. You'll signal your nervous system to relax, something that directly supports vascular health, according to the National Institute on Aging. Over time, this daily rhythm trains your metabolism to stay flexible. Insulin becomes more efficient, blood pressure stabilizes, and your arteries stay open, flexible, and strong. Remember, it's not one drink, one supplement, or one day that makes the difference. It's the accumulation of small, smart choices made every day that builds longevity. Dr. Peter Attia says, "What we do consistently in our 60s determines how we'll live in our 80s and 90s." And it all starts with something as simple as what you choose to drink when you wake up. If there's one thing Dr. Peter Attia reminds his patients, it's that longevity isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. Having the freedom to move without pain, the energy to enjoy your mornings, and the independence to live life on your own terms, no matter your age. Heart health isn't just a medical topic, it's emotional. Because your heart isn't just a muscle, it's the engine that powers every memory, every walk, every hug, every breath. And when your arteries start to open again, when blood flows freely, when oxygen moves easily, something beautiful happens. You begin to feel alive again. The fatigue starts to fade. The brain fog lifts. You notice you can walk a little faster, sleep a little deeper, and think a little clearer. These aren't miracles. They're the natural results of biology working the way it's meant to. The truth is, your body has been waiting for you to give it the chance to heal. Dr. Attia often says, longevity is earned, not given. And every healthy choice you make, every glass of beet juice, every cup of green tea, every mindful walk, is a small deposit into that account of longevity. Think about what that really means. You're not just lowering cholesterol or blood pressure. You're buying back time. Time to travel, time to play with your grandkids, time to feel strong again. And the best part? You don't need perfect genetics or expensive treatments. You just need to start. The body rewards consistency and patience. Maybe you won't feel it all in the first week, but in a month, 3 months, 6 months, you'll notice it. That lightness in your step, that calm in your heartbeat, that quiet confidence that says, I'm taking control again. Because the truth is, no doctor, no pill, no supplement can do what daily commitment can. When you take care of your arteries, you take care of your future self. So remember, the small habits you begin today might just be the reason you can keep doing what you love 10 or 20 years from now. And if you're watching this, it's not too late. It's never too late to rebuild your energy, your vitality, and your independence. One drink, one day, one choice at a time. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you wants to change, not out of fear, but out of hope. And that hope is powerful, because every healthy choice you make after this video isn't just about preventing disease. It's about building a stronger, longer, more vibrant life. Dr. Peter Attia, one of America's leading experts in longevity and metabolic health, often says, prevention isn't just medicine, it's self-respect. Every sip of beet juice, every cup of tea, every mindful moment of rest is an act of self-respect, a way of telling your body, I'm listening now. And that simple awareness can change everything, because what we've seen today isn't theory, it's reality. The nitric oxide in beet juice that relaxes your arteries, the antioxidants in green tea that protect your cells, the polyphenols in pomegranate that rebuild your endothelium, the hibiscus that calms your blood pressure. These are small, natural choices, but together, they create momentum. The kind of momentum that turns health from something you chase into something you live. So, if this video helped you understand your body better, if it gave you clarity, motivation, or even a spark of curiosity, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about, a friend, a parent, or a loved one who might need this information just as much as you did. And if you want to keep learning how to build longevity from the inside out, make sure to subscribe to this channel, because every week we share evidence-based strategies from the world's top doctors, including Dr. Peter Attia, to help you protect your heart, your metabolism, and your independence. Remember, longevity doesn't happen by accident. It's built, one informed choice at a time. So start small, drink smarter, move daily, rest deeply. And when you do, you'll not only extend your years, you'll make every year count.